All right, Coach, you can start us off with some opening comments.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the effort of our football team. I think that we're so shorthanded on defense right now, and for the effort that that the young kids gave today, I was real pleased. We as coaches have got to do a better job of helping our young men understand that the value of every single play within the course of a game has the same weight, and we'll measure that in the outcome when you're playing, a top team in the country. And the game turned on a 15-yard penalty, and a kick out of bounds that gave them a 50-yard line, and then a punt return, and of course add to it our turnovers. But you could say that they had one of those too. So it resulted in a lot of points for them. Give credit to them. Of course, they're a fine football team, and we couldn't stop the run, and we're not very good on third down on either side. But really proud of a lot of things that we found a lot of young kids in a lot of areas, and thought that man, they competed, and I'm excited about getting back out on the field with those guys. They're you know this is possible when you play some of the nation's best teams, and but to love the fight, love the effort. We've got to get some things, try to get some things corrected for sure, and hopefully get a few guys back on the defensive side especially.
All right, we'll take questions down low first. Raise your hand, we'll bring the microphone to you.
Hugh, you mentioned the fight, the effort. Do you feel like you guys were playing with the composure necessary to win games like this at critical times?
The only thing I felt like was maybe the 15-yard penalty. I have to see it on film. I think it's more of an issue. I didn't see anybody losing composure. It's more discipline. Your eyes being where they're supposed to be, fitting the right gap, and doing it with a sense of urgency on the defensive side. And then offensively, we've got to take care of the ball. We scored enough points to beat an Alabama team, but I didn't sense that there was. I thought there was good energy and good focus on the sideline. Didn't think there was lack of composure.
It's the second game in the first three to have a big 21-point lead and not be able to hold it. How tough is that to kind of get the guys to bounce back? Or what do you kind of say to them?
Well, you depend upon the locker room, the leadership in the locker room for sure. Evan and Isaac, DJ, Chad, some of those guys, Tony Connor, and of course our coaches will rebound. We understand that we get judged in this arena by what the scoreboard says, but we don't have to define ourselves like that. Thus, when we get up tomorrow, we will know that the mission still is the same. That's to impact the young men in this program positively, and I think we're competing at a high level. I mean, the schedule was a tough one. We knew that. We very well knew that you could get beat by a lot of these teams at the front end of our schedule, and injuries haven't been our friend either. We've lost some really good players, and that's next man up, and we've got to play the next guys and get them ready, and we'll be excited as coaches to get them in here tomorrow and put this one in the trash and get ready for Georgia.
You had first and goal at the half-yard line. There's no way to ask it other than just kind of why not go under center and give Chad Kelly a QB sneak?
Well, I don't know that we could move in on a quarterback sneak either. On inside zone play, I thought he scored. They reviewed it. Looked like the ball was across the line. And he didn't. Then the next play, we had a totally blown assignment, which is we as coaches have to get that fixed for sure.
Hugh, just what do you guys have to do better in order to keep these big leads you guys get out to?
Yeah. I'll play every play with the same importance and the same value. You got to value it when you get an opportunity to be on punt team. But you also have to give credit to Alabama too now. I mean, they've got some players over there that make plays, but we've got to understand that the value of a given play, whether it's a punt, whether it's not having a penalty, whether it's coverage units, kicking the ball in the right areas. That punt shouldn't have been kicked to the middle of the field. And all of those things have great value, and the margin of error in winning and losing in this league is so small And we've got to do a lot of things better, and obviously, number one, you can't turn it over for 14 points and expect to beat too many teams like Alabama.
What was your assessment of the way Chad Kelly performed today, and what do you attribute the 2 turnovers to?
I thought he did a lot of great things, but he's going to be the first to tell you he's upset with the turnovers. You've got to protect the ball at all costs when you're in the red zone in particular, and he felt the pressure coming and didn't protect the ball with 2 hands down there. The last one I couldn't see. Not sure what happened on that.
You, against Florida State, toward the end of the second half, in the first half, excuse me, had the ball, gave it back to him, and went and scored a touchdown. Same thing happened today. Kind of, if you thought, one of the things you have to assess is maybe the 2-minute approach going into the halfers.
Yeah,
Part of
I
that.
don't think either were in 2-minute drills when they did it. They had short fields, because of kickoffs and a penalty there. They weren't in 2-minute hurry up. They didn't have to be. Some of it is credit to them for making plays, and obviously we've got to keep looking at what we're doing.
All right, we'll get the microphone to Rick down here.
Just in general, how do you feel about the review process?
Today,
Well, today and overall, the game lasted over 4 hours.
yeah, that's a long game. We were definitely fatigued, and I'm sure they were. They had some kids I know that they had to leave the game also. It is what it is, and it probably doesn't help. The important thing is you get the call right. And I'm just, I guess I struggle today. I've got to go look at them and see if they're conclusive, not conclusive, because I don't have all the views that the guys have back in Birmingham. But it was a long game for sure.
Hugh, how much concern is there, though, that guys could start getting down on themselves, being 1 and 2, and start pointing fingers?
That's probably what the media would like to see, and that's what some will write about, but I don't, if the leadership of this team is what I think it is, again, we've played some good teams, and I expect them to respond just like they always have. It would help if we get some guys back, for sure.
These dual threat quarterbacks,
He's a handful.
that's the second one you faced. Is it,
Yeah.
how much pressure does that put on a defense?
Well, when you're trying to get your secondary some help on great receivers, it's really, it puts some stress on you. And they have a good running game, some good running backs. So it's, they're making you defend the entire field for sure. And, we're playing a lot of freshmen in the secondary. You're trying to, as much as you can, give them a little help. And that's causing some stress.
Just curious, given how much success they had running the football, did you give any thought to a second onside kick?
Yeah, we did. But what you're thinking at that point is the percentage of onside kicks are really, really low. And you got 3 timeouts, and you're thinking, man, do you field position? If we can just get a 3 and out, and they got a punt in, we might get it at the 30 to 40 and have a decent field. Whereas, again, the percentages are so small, you don't get it there, and they can pin you inside the 10. And so it's, that one, if it didn't work out, it was the wrong call probably, but the percentages to get one onside kick is very low, much less a second.
And then I noticed Vidal was in a boot. Brasley looked like he might have gone out at some point.
Yeah.
Can you kind of update those?
Brasley took a shot to the back of the head. I did not talk to the docs to see exactly what it was. Vidal didn't practice all week. Victor didn't practice all week. We really missed one of those. It would have really helped to have one of those guys, but we didn't. And some guys had played a lot of snaps and loved the effort that they had, but just needed to stop the run and give us one more shot there.
Going back to that play where you're on the 1 yard line and you get backed up, is there any way that you think that you're going to go for 4th down on one with momentum kind of slowly going away from you with Chad Kelly on that?
Are you talking about on the review that was overturned? There was they ruled touchdown and overturned.
Mm-hmm.
No, not with the score of that, because the field goal just helped us with a touchdown to win it, I believe, at that time.
And then the second question, with him talking about the dual threat quarterbacks, was there any, going into the halftime, was there any kind of assignment as a QB spy or anything that?
Well, we had it sometimes, and it didn't, now, before half, they really didn't hurt us with the zone reads as much as they did just him scrambling and really running some inside zone with him, which was new, that we hadn't seen. But we had a spy several times, and the guy's pretty good.
All right, we'll take questions up top. Any questions from the top of the room? Or anything else down here? All right, we'll get the microphone to Ben there to your right.
That one drive where they overturned what looked like 3 potential touchdowns for you guys. Did you ever see anything like that in the game?
No, I can't say that I've seen 3 in one drive like that. I assume they had conclusive evidence or they wouldn't have done that, so I'll have to see them, but I haven't seen that.
I will take a last question here with Rick.
You know, you're up in the first quarter, but they've been on the field offensively.
Yeah.
And you've got so many people hurt anyway. Yeah. I mean, was that a?
There's no question that we're feeling it at the end of the games with the number of snaps that our kids are having to play with the defensive injuries that we have. There's no question that's a factor. Sean Curtis was out too this week, so that's 3 defensive ends that are out. And then our secondary guys are a little thin too. So hopefully we'll get a few of those guys back, but that is a factor for sure of how we play in the second half.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll let Coach